Hello, if you're new here, my name is Madison and this is Mad's Makeup. If you're not new, then welcome back. Thank you for watching. In today's video, I'm going to be continuing an album series that I'm doing over on my Instagram, and it's going to be looks based on different album covers. Today is going to be based on Ed Sheeran. This is a quick drop of what the look's going to be, but it's based on his Divide and Multiply album covers. So if you want to see me do this look, then just keep watching the video. I'll be starting on the eyes to cut back on excessive fallout. I'll be priming with the KVD Shake Primer, and with this one, you just gotta shake it up really good, and then you just do a drop on each eye and let it set for just a minute. And the eyes are gonna be pretty simple. They're just gonna be a smoked out version of each color. So one eye will be a smoked out green, or the other will be a smoked out blue. I'm gonna be starting out with the green eye, and I'm gonna be taking the BPerfect Carnival palette, and I'll be taking this green right here called Tropics. And you can use any green from any palette you have. I just felt like that green was the closest to the Multiply album cover. And on a fluffy brush, this is gonna be Morphe E17 brush. Just start packing that color all over on the lid. So I have the green placed in the shape that I want it, so now I'm going to be going into the blue. Going back into the BPerfect palette, I'm going to be going into this shade right here called Lagoon to do the other eye. And we're going to just be placing this the same way we did the green, similar shape and everything, just different color obviously. I'm going into the Morphe x James Charles palette and taking this pale shade right here and setting the upper part of my lid so that way I can blend out the blue and green without any patchiness happening. Now taking a small fluffy brush, I'm going to be going back into that blue shade for this eye and the green shade for this eye and just blending it out so there's no harsh lines. And back on that fluffy brush, I'm going to be going back into the James Charles palette and taking this light green shade right here to blend the green out even further. And then taking this light blue from Oceanfront from the Flamingo Violet Voss palette, I'll be blending out the blue eye even further. So I have the eyes blended out the way I want it to. I'm gonna just add a little bit of black liner to my lash line and then get onto the face. For primer today, I'm gonna be going into the Benefit Porefessional primer and placing that where I have heavy pores. So on my cheek areas as well as my forehead. And then for my second primer, I'm going to be using the Tarte Quench primer, and I just placed this on my chin and nose area where I didn't put the other primer. Now I'll be going in with color correcting, and I will be using, as normal, my LA Girl Pro Conceals. And I use the peach one for my under eyes where I have that blueness, and the green one where there's any red spots. So as you can see, I placed that peach color corrector in my under eyes and the green in the areas where I have red spots. So I'm going to go blend that in, and then we'll get into foundation. For foundation today, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation, and this is in the hydrating formula. So I'm just placing that all around my skin, and then I'll be blending it in with a beauty blender. And this foundation has a medium coverage, so I'm putting quite a bit to build up the coverage that I want. And then just taking my damp beauty sponge and blending that all in. I've got my foundation built up how I like it, so now I'm going into contouring, and I will be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in shade Mink down the sides of my nose, and then I take it to chisel my cheekbones and on my forehead. And then I like to do the underside of my lip because it can help give your lip a fuller effect after you go and put your lipstick on. And then I just go and blend that in with my beauty sponge. My contour is all blended in, so now I'm going to be going in with concealer. Today I'm using the Benefit Cakeless Concealer, and I'll be using this to highlight my under eyes, contour down the bridge of my nose, and then cover up any spots that I have. And I usually blend out the face parts with my finger for the spots, and then I blend out my nose with my beauty sponge as well as my under eyes. For powder, I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, setting my under eyes and the rest of my face. And for bronzer, I will be using the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Taking the brush that comes in it, it's this little small brush. I'm going to be taking that down the sides of my nose to do a bit of contouring with a fluffy brush, blending that out. And then I will be using this to bronze up my cheeks and forehead. For blush, I'm going to be taking the Milk Cream blush, and this is in shade Work, and I just spread this on my cheek area, a little right here on my nose, and blend that in with my fingers. And it gives a really nice, pretty rosy blush look. And to finish off my base, I'm going to be going into the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. And I go on a beauty sponge and just press that product into my cheeks. So my base is all finished up, and I did do my brows off camera, so now we're going to go into finishing up the under eyes and then moving on to the cheeks to do the artwork. And the under eyes are going to be pretty simple. For the green side, I'm just going to be blending it out with that same green from the BPerfect Cosmetics palette, and then just blending that out with the light green from the Morphe James Charles palette. And on the other side, doing the same thing, just with the blue. And then blending that out with the light blue from the Flamingo palette. And taking some black eyeliner, I'm using the Stila pen liner, putting that in my lower waterline. Now I'm going to be going into the face artwork, and I'm going to be taking that concealer I used earlier for my under eyes, the Cakeless concealer from Benefit, and popping it onto my cheeks and blending it in so I have a tacky base for the eyeshadow to go on. So I've got that concealer placed on my cheeks, and now I'm just going to blend that in with the beauty sponge on both sides. And for this cheek, we're going to do blue and do the Divide album, and this side, we're going to do green and do the Multiply album. So starting into that Lagoon shade again, I'm going to be just placing this on my cheek. We're going to do it in kind of a square shape and then blending that out with the lighter blue. And now we're going to be doing the same exact thing on this cheek, just with the green. And blending that out with the lighter green. Okay, and that cheek is done, so now we're going to get into the artwork. To do the line work, I'm going to be using the Eyeko Black Magic Liner. So starting on the Divide side, I'm just going to do a little dot to mark where I'm kind of going to be doing everything. And a line. So that's a general scope right there of how I'm going to be doing the shape on that side, and then this side is just going to be the multiplying X. There's a general outline, and so I'm going to go in and add the darkening in the shapes of them. Alright, so there's the Divide side. Now let's get into the Multiply. Alright, so there are the two sides right there. I'm gonna go finish my lashes and lips off camera, and then I'll be back to show you all the finished look. That is gonna finish up this look. For the last final products that I use, you can find those over on my Instagram. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me, and I hope you all have a safe and wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!